Hello, everybody. Welcome to Haiku Talk. I'm your host, Ben Ga, your friendly neighborhood haiku poet, and today we're going to be taking a look at a piece from the latest issue of Acorn. A piece from Zimmerman with the first line of Orange by Orange. All right, with that said, you know what time it is. Time to sit back, grab yourself a tasty beverage, and let's haiku. Hello again. Welcome back to Haiku Talk. It's good to be back for another episode, and we've got a nice, warm, summary poem here to talk through. And it goes like this. Orange by orange, out of the tree, the soft whump of children. Orange by orange, out of the tree, the soft whump of children. Very nice indeed. Now, I think this poem follows a middle pivot format, where the middle line of out of the tree, the soft whump, both speaks to orange by orange, and it speaks to the of children, because I think both are falling out of the tree and making noises at the same time, which is what makes this poem very fun, and that last little bit twist at the end makes it from kind of an ordinary poem to an extraordinary poem in my book, at least one that I feel is worthy of a haiku talk. Let's go through this line by line, and I'll talk about what I mean by that. So the first line is orange by orange, and for a first line, it's 3 words. And it definitely gets me thinking about things. It gets me an image. It gets me curious. The first word of orange, as you start to read that line, you don't know if it's color or a fruit. By the time you get to the end of that first line, orange by orange, I'm pretty convinced that they're talking about fruit here and not colors by colors. So orange by orange is an interesting line, because what does that mean? Orange by orange. I don't have a lot of context in my life for seeing oranges by oranges, other than maybe in a bowl on the table or in a fruit salad or something, but I'm not sure exactly what's going to happen next. But I'm intrigued. My senses are engaged. I can see the orange. I can feel the weight of an orange. I'm starting to think about oranges and seeing them side by side. Then we go to line 2 of out of the tree, the soft whump. Out of the tree, the soft whump. Now, I love that word whump. It's such a great word. It sounds exactly right to me, because the word itself is the sound, and what a great sound it is. I mean, whump, it's just a fun word to read, a fun word to say out loud, and just a delightful choice of a word to use in this poem. And that's something I would keep in mind if you're writing your own pieces, is word choice is important, and sometimes in this case, a fun, playful word like whump just really adds a lot of color and shape and tone to the poem to help bring that smile. And so when we get to that surprise of the third line, we're already delighted. But as it is, that second line, out of the tree, the soft whump, following oranges by oranges, I'm pretty well convinced, okay, I'm hearing the sound of oranges falling from the tree. And, they make a whump sound. They're heavy. Boom, boom. I'm there. And it almost could be complete as is. You don't need anything more. Just calling attention to the sound of oranges falling from a tree can be enough, to make a haiku. But Zimmerman goes further with that third line and gives us of children. And suddenly that soft whump it becomes even more playful, because now I'm envisioning anyway the scene of having kids in the tree knocking oranges out, as well as knocking themselves out, falling down, having fun, playing around, as kids should be doing playfully in trees and just out and about exploring the world and being engaged in nature. And it's just a very fun, playful poem for me. I love the color, orange by orange. If I'm thinking of this tree and the seasons that would have ripe oranges, well, I'm thinking the oranges, I'm outside, green leaves on the tree, a blue sky, the sound of kids playing, especially when you get to that third line. What happens is it causes you to recontextualize the poem. I now go back and read the whole thing again, knowing that kids are involved. And then a bunch of other color pops out, not just in the sight, but in the sound, because I imagine the kids are laughing. I imagined, there's all sorts of other commotion going around in a very fun summertime scene. I'm thinking of the colors of clothes. I'm thinking of just other sounds that might be in the air, other smells that might be in the air, cut grass, sounds of sprinklers, all sorts of things that I'm bringing to the poem that don't necessarily exist specifically in the poem, but because the poem is using those 3 S's of simple, succinct, and suggestive language, it's suggesting a moment in time that allows me to step into and fill in with all these other things that come from my life and my experience of being out on a warm day and kids playing around, and it's, they're ripe, playing in trees where the fruit is ripe, and you're just, it's wonderful. It's a really, really nice piece. Very fun, very light, very playful. And because we have that twist at the end of children, also contributing to the soft whump of children, it really adds a twist and adds a playfulness and adds an edge, if you will, to the poem that makes it really pop and come alive and be active. And I didn't see it coming, the kids, but once it's there, it's obviously there, and it is as if this, the scene is complete and it always existed. And that's kind of a sign of a really good poem, a really good haiku or senryu. And that phrase, it's like it always existed. That comes from the guitar player, The Edge, from the band U2, who says when he's writing guitar riffs, it's like he looks for that thing that to his ears and to his mind, it feels like it's plucked down and it seems like it's always existed. And haiku, because they're so short, they give you that burst of a moment, and when they really work, there's no room for error. They're perfectly aligned, they're perfectly weighted, everything snaps together well, and it is almost as if they've always existed. And this is a scene, it feels like I've not actually experienced it in my life, but it feels true to things that I have experienced in my life. And it's just a wonderful piece. So thank you, Jay Zimmerman. Thank you, Acorn. And thank you, dear viewers, for tuning in for another episode of Haiku Talk. I hope everything is well in your world. Click thumbs up if you like the content. Subscribe to the channel if you feel like doing so. And if you've liked and subscribed, think about ringing the bell for notifications. These come out about once every week or over the week or so. Not too often. It's not going to spam your inbox too much. Until then, until next time, have a safe, wonderful week. And cheers, everybody.